female head talk expert, Bree Stedman, is passionate about helping women stop the negative self-talk that discourages and sabotages their life experience to gain more emotional control. For over 13 years, Bree has worked with women in a leadership, mentoring, transformation, and educating role. She has seen the struggle that women experience when it comes to creating a life of their dreams. Regardless of skills and experience, the common denominator that affects results is the way women speak to themselves. Her Own Your BS brand is a no-nonsense approach to inspire, educate, and empower. Welcome, Bree. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
To begin, can you tell us a little bit about the journey that led you to start your own business?
Yeah, great question. So there's been, kind of different chunks of my journey as well, because I think as you grow as a human and you grow, particularly as a woman, and different roles kind of come into your life, different things inspire. So I initially got into business for myself just because I wanted a bit of extra income. And then, 10 years later, after becoming a leader and, sort of a person of influence, I realised that I wanted to do more than just this surface level influence, which is where I kind of felt like I was leading. And so I started to explore the deeper levels of what was going on for women. I'm very, very passionate about women becoming more authentic and more genuine to live their own kind of defined life rather than just following the road that we sort of expect to take. So it's been a journey of personal growth and then finding a role that allows me to grow even further within that space.
Did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Not even remotely. I remember one of my very first jobs, being at work 6 days a week and thinking there has to be more to life than just going to work and coming home and going to work and coming home. And that's kind of what led me into business in the first place. But it's only really been in recent years that I've even considered myself as an entrepreneur, because up until that point I was following someone else's model of business. It was about 2012, 2013 that I started to think beyond the model that I was in and started to see where I could create a little bit of magic within my own space. So yeah, even the concept of entrepreneur is something that I've only really started to grasp in the last couple of years, and I've been self-employed for most of my adult life. So not even remotely, but I'm very open to, and I think organically, to be able to grow and expand and change your definition of what you want. We put so much pressure on young kids to decide what they want to do when they're still at primary school or in high school. And really, even in mid-30s, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing in 10 years' time, let alone what I wanted to do when I was 18 for the rest of my life. So, no, I'm open to growth, and I think that's a really strong characteristic to have in terms of long-term success as well, being able to grow and change your definition of what you're good at, what you enjoy, and who you love to connect with, and being flexible with that.
Bree, what is one action or task you ensure you incorporate into your diary each week?
I actually really despise questions like that, because I think it is so against the grain of who we are as cyclic women. For a woman, who you are today and who you're going to be tomorrow depends very much on the hormonal flow that you're in. So depending on the time of the month, I'm a very social person and I want to connect with people. And then there's, fast forward a couple of weeks, and the last thing that I want to do is connect with new people. I want to be creative, or I want to go in my own zone. So the one thing that I do for me is check in with myself. What's inspiring me this week? What am I feeling drawn to doing? And because my business as well changes so much, I could be traveling, or I could be running a retreat, or I could just be working with clients, via the internet. So it's all very much dependent on what's in the calendar already, but more importantly, what I'm instinctively drawn to do. Because if I follow that line of golden thread inspiration, then things just kind of happen organically, and the risk of burnout becomes so much less. And that's what I see so many women trying to do. We're trying to be routine and do the same things every single day, despite what our nature is telling us to do.
What do you attribute your success to?
Constant growth. Constantly being able to look at where I have mastered a particular part of my life or a particular task, looking where I can improve, being vulnerable enough to recognise where there are still challenges and where there are still insecurities, and being able to look at those and not beat myself up as a result of it, but actually look at it as an opportunity to grow and be open to new concepts, new ideas, and new transformed versions of myself to step forward.
And to finish today, what local entrepreneur do you find inspiring?
I'm really inspired by the little people, the mums every day that think of new ideas, or that think outside the zone and act with courage to become more for their families, to give their kids more opportunities, to think outside of the square. So and social media, I'm obviously very active on social media. There's so many examples on social media of women that are trying to do things differently. One in particular, Anastasia Dunstan, has More Than a Mama, and I absolutely love what she's creating because she saw a need for mums in the Hunter who were feeling very disconnected to come back together and reconnect, not just as mums, but also as individual women. So I really applaud the work that she's doing, but in general, any woman that can see a need and can see that she has some level of ability to be able to improve that space, they inspire me beyond.
What an uplifting way to finish today. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.